All right, guys. This is one of my favorite exercises slash modules. When I do my theory, I've done this for the last 4 years. This specific exercise I've done for the last 4 years. When it comes to my theory portion, which is breaking down the concepts, the theory behind precision-based cutting, people tend to love this part the most. People love this exercise. They love it. The reason why is because together now, we're going to identify what stage of learning we're in. But let me first break down what each stage is. Okay, so the stage 1 is the unconscious incompetence. Okay, I'm going to explain what that means as well. Stage 2 is the conscious incompetence. Stage 3 is the conscious competence. And stage 4 is the unconscious competence. I'm gonna see if we could probably do this here. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Amazing. Okay. So you guys could all see this. Beautiful. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. So level 1, the unconscious incompetence. Okay. Level 1, guys. This level is the individual. Think of the barber that is interested in going into the industry, has not done any research, hasn't watched any YouTube video, doesn't know anything about it, but is somewhat interested in barbering. That's called the unconscious incompetence. Not competent. It's unconsciously incompetent. Okay. Again, the word sounds fancy, but picture like that. Visualize the barber. Oh, I'm interested in barbering, but I haven't done and I didn't put zero effort in it. Didn't watch any videos, haven't done nada. Which most of you guys are not at that phase, because if you're already here in this program, guess what stage you're at? Think about it. We're gonna break that down though. Knows, let's say, knows nothing. Now, level 2 is the conscious incompetence. This individual, okay, if I'm gonna break it down, is the individual that now has watched YouTube videos, that has now gone through the research, is inspired, is excited, but has no clue what's happening. Doesn't know anything about anything, but is now doing the research. Okay, they're learning. So another way to break this down, and I'll break it down in 2 methods so you really understand. Okay, so that's called the person interested and now learning. 3 is learning and applying, but not satisfied. So think of this barber as the barber that's now taking in-person classes, is taking online education, implementing the techniques. They're implementing these things, but they still feel like they're not satisfied. They watch the content on Instagram. They watch the content on YouTube. They watch me potentially. They watch other stylists, but the end result isn't exactly like how they thought it was going to be. So they're finding that they're struggling with the movements. They're struggling with the techniques, but they're doing it now, right? So they are in the in-person classes. They've been probably cutting hair for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, right? But the end result, they're not satisfied. And stage 4 is the individual that, without thinking, gets the result. Okay? That's the barber that could close his eyes, cut the hair, and by the end of it, looks beautiful. Most of the barbers that know how to fade feel like this. Fading is natural. The client comes in, their heart doesn't start beating. They feel normal. They're able to boom, 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 cut the hair. They're relaxed. That's called your unconscious competence. They don't have to think. They don't have to watch. Just naturally, it's second nature. It's like a robot. Okay? So, before I ask you another question, what stage of learning do you guys think you're in? And then I'm going to ask you this. What stage of learning should you be in? Ooh. What stage of learning should you be in and why? What stage of learning should you guys be in and why? Okay. Now, every time I do this exercise, guys, everyone always says, Alex, I should be at level 4. Now, I believe that's wrong. We should thrive to be at level 4, but what tends to happen with barbers is they get stuck at level 4, not because they've reached a level of mastery, because they choose. And when they choose to be at level 4, they start getting bored. It becomes a job. It becomes redundant. It becomes repetitive. They're not challenged. They're not inspired. They're unmotivated. Their money doesn't increase. Their clients are the same. And those are the barbers that we see in the industry that just know how to fade. Okay. See this happen way too much. And then what happens is diminishing returns. It's a decline in all aspects of the life. Where you want to be is a level 3, always challenged, always learning, right? There has to be a balance, guys, of it not being too difficult, but being challenging enough where you're inspired. Because when it's too difficult, you think too much. And then sometimes when it's too difficult, we're in this state of survival. Okay, we're in the state of like, fuck, it's not working. I got to try harder. Survival. But we're in this stage of like, I'm thinking, and I could get it to work enough, but it's not it's not perfect enough. That is the stage at your peak. This is where you're going to be thriving the most in your career. Because you're always, and again, here's one thing that's important to understand. This could all be intentional. So for you faders at level 4, you could put yourselves at level 3. You're not challenging yourselves. Try a new type of fade. Try a new guideline. Try a new system. Try using scissors. Try breaking down a scissor different haircuts. Start being a little bit more creative. Start applying different techniques, right? Spend more time. Spend less. Like, there's so many things we could do with haircuts that there should be no reason why you stay at level 4. So that's why I said you're fully in control, and this is all intentional for you to be at 3, and you should stay at 3 because this is where you're going to be always growing. Here, 4, you're stagnant. 3, you're growing. 2, you need to be at 3. So 2, you need to reach to be at level 3. 4, technically, you have to. 4, you need to go back to 3, and 1, you need to be at 2, and then, vice versa. So that's what I want you guys to understand. Be aware of where you're at, understand what level you're in, and then think, if you're at 4, what do you need to do to change that? If you're at 3, that's a good position to be in. Keep challenging yourself, right? Because here's what you need to do. If you're at 3, guys, and you feel like you're at 4, good. That's what you were supposed to do, right? So if you're at 3, fading with something that you couldn't understand, and then all of a sudden you get it, and then all of a sudden you start and post it, and it looks amazing, people are complimenting you, you're probably at that point of like, you've figured out fading. Okay, great. What more can you do now? How can you challenge yourself? Because for me, guys, you're probably wondering, well, Alex, how did I get to my position? Because I'm constantly never satisfied, guys. I'm always in this state. You want to know the truth? I never like what I post. I'm never happy with it. I'm content and I'm proud of my team for doing it, but I always see issues with it. I always can improve, right? I'm never satisfied because I never feel like I've gotten to that point. And I truly feel that. It's not like I'm trying to tell myself, I'm trying to humble myself by saying this. I truly mean it. And that's why I feel like I've gone to this position, because I've just never been satisfied. I'm always pushing the boundaries. I'm never satisfied. Okay. So I hope this exercise served you guys well. I think a lot of people will find a lot of value in this. And think about this. Write it down. What stage of learning are you guys in? And then your action item here. I want a sentence. And I want a sentence that's really thought out here about what stage of learning are you in and why? What stage of learning are you guys in and why? Drop it in the post. I'll catch you guys in the next one.